Can we get your thoughts on the whole Diddy thing? When I think about the Diddy thing, honestly, I think that's real power, right? Like you gotta think about this like from a couple different aspects, right? So the first thing, right? Raped Miss Ventura in her own home. That's crazy. He took that shit in her own crib. Imagine that. Like she's like, I'm leaving. He grabbed her arm. Bitch, you ain't going nowhere. Throw her in the bed. Take that shit right up in the crib. Like, talk about devaluing a woman down to her lowest form, her body. Often punched, beat, kicked, and stomped, resulting in bruises, burst lips. That's fucking crazy. You burst a bitch lip is wild. Black eyes and bleeding, blew up a man's car. This is actually very nuts. This is psychotic, right? This one's pretty psychotic. Forced Miss Ventura to engage in sex acts with male sex workers while beating his dick. I'm going to come back to this one. I've thought about this one a lot. I'm going to come back to this one. Ran out of his apartment with a firearm in pursuit of a rival industry executive whom he learned was nearby. It's pretty funny because he doesn't strike like Diddy. I'm not saying you could smack Diddy and it's not going to be a problem, but Diddy just doesn't strike me as that type of guy. So maybe that's the power of the PR. Like he's really on that type of timing, but it's good he doesn't strike you as that way. So when he gets on that type of timing, you would never see it coming type beat, but whatever. Demanded that Miss Ventura carry his firearm in her purse just to make her uncomfortable. You know, this one, I mean, I think this one is embellished a little bit, I guess. But, I mean, if you doing this to the chick allegedly taking it and beating the hell out of her, I guess she could be freaked out by this one. And then introduced her to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and substance abuse, right? Now, let's get to the good one. The sex acts, the male workers, and the nigga sitting in the corner beating his dick while watching it. When you're thinking about Diddy, right? And you're thinking, like, every time something comes out and you see behind the curtain on these dudes with power, like real power, not like a nigga running a fucking YouTube channel, a nigga maybe he may donate in a small town to the police and the fire department. Like, we're talking real power, right? Like, nigga got money. Always think back to, like, Diddy and Puff 1992. Right? You gotta understand, how old is P. Diddy now? Diddy is 54 years old. In this photo, he's 23. Now, whenever I see weird shit, whenever we like, I'll say like my thoughts on it is I kind of believe it, right? I didn't, because normally like I always have a tendency to try to understand the villains a little bit. Like, yo, what's the real story? This one I kind of looked at it and I'm like, yeah, I could see that just a tiny bit. And it's for a multitude of different reasons. One, you would always hear weird stuff about this guy. Like you would hear weird stuff about him. Such shit all the time. Like it's so much so that it was like jokes. I feel like what's happening is we see behind the curtain and it kind of maybe give a little validity to some of the sus shit you hear. Like if I'm hearing niggas is doing sus shit or potentially sus, and then a chick come out and then say, like she drops a bombshell, like this A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then you looking at E like, damn, E kind of sus. And then you think back to all the other shit like, hold up now. Like, nigga really might be getting this, you know, he might be on some Dwight Howard shit. And then I think, how could a nigga get on that? You got to remember. What school I think he went to Howard. I think he's a Howard University graduate, right? Hold on, we're going to check. Yeah. He was a business major at Howard University, but left after his sophomore year. He's not a graduate, but he left after his sophomore year. I just want to put this in perspective. How I don't mean to go, y'all know I'm venturing to BP Lane just a tiny bit. I just want to look down BP Lane. We're not going to drive down there, I promise. I'm trying to put in perspective how much pussy a nigga like this has had in his life. I would say, and we're talking 30 years he been the man. 30 years he been the man. Or even if he's not, he has some semblance of control, even if it's behind. If he ain't in front of the camera, there's some semblance of control while he's behind the camera. But he has a certain amount of control, right? I think it's going to open up some weird shit. Like, I think the nigga is going to be into, like, some slightly weird shit. And when I'm hearing, you know, yo, Cassie, man, like he walking through, like he hyping the nigga up. Hold on. Captain Hook, Meg the Stallion, Kelsey. I'm sorry. Sometimes I be doing this, but I promise you, I'm going somewhere with it. I know it looks weird, but I'm going somewhere. Put this on mute real fast. He's doing this shit. He's hyping Meg up. This is probably him talking to the sex workers. Like, yeah, you gotta fuck her, nigga. Like, nigga, I mean, put a pounding on that shit, nigga. Like, he probably how the deacons whenever the pastor at the end of the sermon say, if anybody needs to come up and needs prayer, and the deacon standing up there, and then that's Diddy doing this. He hyping him up. Like, he hyping him like, yo, you gonna fuck her. This is the best pussy you done ever had, nigga. Nobody can get this, but you gonna hit this. You got the big dick, nigga. You that nigga. And then he goes sitting in the corner, Diddy bopping with his dick in his hand and shit. I'm not gonna say I understand it, because I don't. But what I do understand is whatever you take in, you're not going to take the same amount in over a course period of time. It's going to evolve. It's going to evolve 100%. Like, and I think Diddy, I think he's a coomer, if I'm being honest. Because what's the difference between a nigga sitting on the computer busting nuts and what Diddy doing? Nothing. It's just Diddy has access to do it. And I think it's a very interesting sign of how, like, you see some motherfuckers like, what is it when niggas get power and they start acting out like every fucking sexual fantasy? Like, it's like they go crazy with it every single time. Just on the lower half, when we look at it from some YouTube shit, niggas can't back it up. And I think for him, like, he has the type of power, like, again, at the level of executive status he's at, I think it's very. I mean, I ain't gonna say he got a power, because what's the conspiracy people say, like he getting people killed? I don't know if I would go that far. I truthfully do not know if I would go that far to say he getting niggas killed and now you're not looking into it. The only niggas I feel like got power like that is when we're talking political shit. Like, we're talking like, hey man, a Republican senator hit somebody in the ass, I got it on cam, and I'm talking like, man, I'm about to release this shit. I maybe have a bullet in my head when I go take the dogs out tonight. I go walk the dog, somebody may put a round in my head, right? That's where I start kind of thinking like, maybe niggas got power like that. But I think when it comes to like some degenerate shit, yeah, I can see it. Like, cause it's like, yo, bro, when it's like, if I don't know any, like, I'm telling you, I've thought about this shit for like 3 days. I even thought up a method called the J-Rap method. If you take J-Rap, right, and do I have any photos? Hold on. I do. Give me a sec. If you take J-Rap and J-Rap hit Big Mina, he climbing up in Big Mina shit, he hitting Big Mina. Let's say J-Rap first get his like first 5 mil. He cracking Big Mina 3 years. After that, he got 20 million. He cracking Big Mina. He cracking a girl that looked like Big Mina. Same build, same type of build for 2 years. Then after that 2 years, let's say he just start flying them hoes in. He got Desi's from all over the place coming in. Fat ass, they asses looking like this. They asses coming in, poking like this and shit. Poking like this, like, motherfucker fat. She looking over. He hitting all this. They letting him do anything he want. He nutting in them. He nutting in their ass, thumbing their butt. They sucking dick. He got them fucking each other. He can hit them so much that they even hitting this. His homeboys is even hitting them. What do you think is eventually going to happen? What do you think eventually is going to happen? Wow, don't get me wrong. It's going to be fire. Eventually, it's not going to hit the same. It's not going to hit the same. So he's going to have to do something a little darker. Maybe they start doing drugs when they're fucking around. Maybe he pissed on her one time and that's like a shit, like maybe that, because when you find out disgusting shit, right? When you find out disgusting shit and that shit arouses you, at first, I'm gonna tell you, this is how it always goes. The first time you like, hell no, what the fuck? Like you almost like low key are disgusted. Like, yo, what? Like, why the fuck would I even think that? That's the first time. Then the second time, then you might have a night where shit ain't really hitting right, but you want to look at it. Then you dip your toe in it a little more. Then you like, man, fuck, I'm gonna just look at it. Then that shit really hit. Next thing you know, you just consuming it like it's nothing, right? So I think when you take Diddy, like the difference between when I say like you take the Coomer, right? And you take a nigga like Diddy has access to it. It ain't nothing. Like when you talk the type of money this nigga got, like let's look at a net worth. Let's pull a net worth up. I just spelled net worth all wrong. $1 billion. My nigga. God damn. That is holy shit. Holy cow. 1 billion. Jesus Christ. Like that just hit me. Like I just sat here and thought like how much money it is. But the nigga got 1 billion, right? Estimated net worth of $1 billion. All that red pill shit that you see niggas doing like, yo, you guys spit game in this way. Motherfucker is opening the wallet. Nobody, like, anybody in here that has this type of net worth, you're not doing that like, hey, you know, I'm an entrepreneur. You're not, whatever game you do to spit to get the bitch to open up, you're not doing it. Yo, you want some, you want to suck this dick? I got 5 bands. I pay your rent for a year. Let a nigga fuck on you twice. I'm letting you know, like that's, so when you're talking this type and you're hitting everything, mind you, where is it at? Did I close it? This is Diddy in 1993 or 1992 with one of the biggest rappers of that era, Biggie Smalls. Big. Who was the 2 biggest niggas at this time? Biggie and Tupac. He's standing with one of them. There's a whole clip of back in the day, the whole fucking meme. You don't want your executives dancing all in your videos. That Suge, y'all remember when Suge Knight went up on stage?
And one other thing I'd like to say, any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
Who you think he talking about? Now let's just use some. He ain't talking about Birdman. Birdman used to do that shit. He's not talking about Birdman. He's talking about P. Diddy. Diddy been known for doing that shit. All in the videos, dancing. This was 1995, I think. Thank you for that clarification. So this has been the thing, like, and that's why I think, like, I think like when you indulge for so long, to us, like to especially to me, I won't say to y'all, to me, when I see Cassie, right? So let me pull up Cassie 2009. Cassie 2009. I don't know what she looked like 2009, but let's just say this is, can we get her with like all her hair? Here we go. This is a good picture. I'm sorry. All right. I was like, can we get her like with all her hair? When you see this, you might think to yourself like, damn, she bad as a motherfucker. But when this nigga seeing this all day, he got clones of this chick. This is chick 1, but chick 1 through 10 look like this. Let me show you what they all look like to him at a certain point. A regular college girl. They're going to start looking like this. I'm not cutting off the stream right now to go talk to any of them. If they don't swipe right on me, I'm not sitting there like, damn, did I fumble? Putting my hand on my head, looking at throwing water on my face in the mirror. I'm not doing that shit. I'm just like, oh, okay, that sucks. Go about my day. Right? So when you're talking about a nigga consuming, and I can't even imagine, I'm assuming they were fucking them back then. Like, I don't think this is just some new shit. Like, 2010 come around, the nigga started turning into a wild boy. I'm assuming him and Big was probably like, hey, Big, I got the girls coming through. Say less. Girls come through. They probably got a little weed. They probably got a little drink. Ladies relaxing themselves, looking all pretty, titties looking real perky, butt looking real fat, like you can bounce a quarter off of it, and then they gonna see what's up. It's like playing a video game, low key. Like you first start out like, let's say you're going negative all the time. Your KD is like 0.7. Then you get up to a 1.0. That 1.0 becomes your new normal. Like, okay, this feels good being at a 1.0. This is what I expect. Then you get up to a 1.5. You're like, okay, that was a good game. Then you start tasting those 2s and those 3s. So anything where it's like falls below what your normal is, you're now looking at it like, damn, bro, what's the point? Like, that was a bad game. When in reality, it really wasn't. And I think when you got it on something like as primal as our minds and instinct, and it don't get no more primal than fucking. It don't get no more primal than that. Sticking your dick in some coochie. That's primal. Like, it don't get no more primal than that. It's like, I think niggas gonna develop weird habits. Like, I think that's what it is. And I think every now and again, I think what happens is the billionaire grift is coming off as normal. Like trying to come off as like, hey, I'm just a normal guy. I'm not into weird shit. And then sometimes you peer behind that curtain just a tiny bit. And you see like, damn, bro, like, cause this is what every nigga was thinking when this shit came out. This nigga got a bad light-skinned bitch like this, racially ambiguous. Spanish, whatever the fuck she is. And he's sitting in the corner letting 5 to 6 other niggas fuck her as he jacks off. The pussy right there, dog. Why don't you go hop in it? Like, it's like what? Like, huh? Like the nigga dick don't work or something? Go pop a Viagra. Like what? The pussy right there. And you think about this shit. The pussy right there. Let me go back to my thing real fast. Let me pull up the menu. J-Rap in the room is right there. J-Rap make eye contact with Jeremy like, yo, go get that dog. As J-Rap goes and gets the Vaseline. That shit looks crazy. Like it looks crazy. It looks crazy. That shit looks crazy, right? So do I think there's some truth there with what's going on? Yeah, I do. Do I think some of it might be embellished? Yeah. Do I think when you start getting into these legal court cases where they have to start like definitively pulling out like prime example, Dwight Howard, where the nigga, he's like, well, I didn't, yeah. Like, it's like, is this, you don't want to be in a situation where it's like, you're like Dwight Howard. Yeah, I was in the room with 2 other niggas. We was doing the freak off, but we didn't rape them, though. We're black, all right? Now, that shit might work with the white folk, but over here, niggas are like, hold up now. They're like, hold up. You was in prime fucking hours with a nigga named Kitty and a nigga who you saying shit like, man, I ain't gay, but, you know, sometimes I just be a little nasty. Send that meat. Motherfuckers don't, at that point, I'm telling you, with black people, they don't care if the nigga was raped or not anymore. They don't. They looking like, hold up, bro. Like, so we just want to know that you knew. Like, I swear, niggas be giving everybody outs. Like, they be like, yo, let's just give them an out. Let's wait and see. And I don't think Diddy wants to be in a situation like that. So it's like, yo, whatever her price tag is, just give it to her so she can shut the fuck up. And then in 2 weeks, this is real shit. In 2 weeks, like, we're 2 weeks past the boogie shit. Right? That's way smaller. That's way smaller compared to this. But nobody on YouTube, like, niggas moved on the fucking Gumball and Dream fighting. I'm trying to think what else I seen. Pearl getting demonetized by YouTube. Abba and Preach laughing. Everybody trying to say she a pedo because she interviewed some like 16-year-olds or something on the streets in London. Like, the way we consume media goes so fucking fast that truthfully, yo, give her the bag so she shut the fuck up. It looked like we taking a net loss this year. We gonna double whatever we did. Whatever we lost this year, we about to double putting in the work in next year so we can make up for it. Give her what we need to give her so she can shut up and let's keep it moving. Right? But do I think there's some truth there? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Do I think everything is like, you know, do I think like it's all like, if somebody asks me like, well, what do you think isn't true, Big Rob? Like, which one do you think she's lying on, Big Rob? I don't know. Like the one that doesn't really, the one that kind of doesn't make me raise my eyebrows, like the firearm in the purse, you know, that one doesn't really strike me as like, bitch, put that firearm in your purse. I use that shit on you. I don't think he was on that, but domestic violence, I could see. You're hearing stuff like when I think a nigga with money, what could he do? I think, yeah, I would be honest with you. I don't like to put the asterisk on motherfuckers. I really don't. But so many niggas with power have done this first one. Like, that is like, hey, if that happened, I'd just be like, wow, you know, honest to God, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, just because how many niggas have like a serious bag? Not talking, hey, Louis got $15 million. He's making it go away. I'm talking Vince McMahon level of influence, power in whatever industry they're in, status. Like, bro, I don't know if y'all have been watching this. Go watch Joe Budden talk about this. Go watch Joe Budden talk. Let's play a game in your free time. Seriously. Go watch Joe Budden talk about Michael B. Jordan being irritated with a girl that used to bully him in high school, now all in his face smiling, trying to act like they're buddy, when in reality, she know how she probably treated him, and now she want to interview, so she want to make everything look good, like they're friendly, like she probably wasn't laughing in the nigga face when he the small, scrawny kid, but now the nigga got some muscle, some size, he a sex symbol. Oh, hey, Michael, you remember me? All up in his face. Watch Joe Budden talk about that shit, and then put this shit on. Seriously. Go watch Joe Budden talk about Michael B. Jordan and how the level of, bro, the level, I don't even know what word I want to put here, but just listen to like how he talks about it and then put this on. You would think Diddy would have snipers on motherfuckers or a bomb in each of these niggas' building ready to vaporize the whole motherfucking complex. You would think he would be ready to vaporize the whole complex. I like the Breakfast Club because I watch academics talk about it. I kind of give Charlemagne and Envy a pass, and I'll explain why. The reason why I give Charlemagne a pass a little bit to not talk about this or try to stay away from this shit, because every couple of years, and I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all. If y'all ever want to get a copyright strike from Charlemagne the God personally, go make a long, in-depth documentary on that rape case shit. Every video that somebody has ever done an in-depth thing about Charlemagne allegedly raping that girl, bro, that shit gets hit with it. He is not playing around with those C&Ds and bringing those videos down. You will get struck fast. Like, any time I've ever seen that video on YouTube, and I've seen different ones of people making videos like that, they get taken down. So I kind of get like, you may not want to do anything where niggas gonna be like, hey, yo, wait a minute. Ain't you the dude that like I could see him wanting to stay away from that, first and foremost. Second thing, Envy got the scam and shit going on. So niggas is not in the position where they can, you know how niggas is going to do. You start talking about something, somebody like, man, ain't you the nigga that once somebody start the ain't you the nigga that, you need to hit the big red panic button. You need to run away. Run for your fucking life. Run for your life, right? You need to run. Panic. It's time to panic. So I get them wanting to stay away from the topic. I think Joe Budden is fucking corny. Like, I think Budden is corny as fuck. And I think you should really, if you got an hour or two, or you're like, you got to go pull up that nigga talking about Michael B. Jordan and just listen at the level he comes in at that shit. And then listen to him talk about this. I ain't never seen defense like that. Like, it's crazy. Like, even to the point that niggas won't even talk about, like, yeah, I heard about the freak offs, but I didn't think he was, they ain't even saying shit like that. They just like, yo, let's not talk about it. Like, it's like, what? It's crazy, right? So that's whenever I think about this Diddy shit, I always think about that. Like, yo, that's true power. Like, I don't think motherfuckers understand the level of power you have, that when you're outside of the room, the niggas in the room, they know not to play with your name like that. That's true power. When niggas got power like that, legitimately, that makes me think like, hey, yo, that's kind of eerie, low key. That you outside the room, you don't got an ear in the room, but the niggas in the room just know not to talk about you in that manner. Like, it's like, are we in North Korea? like what the fuck is going on? And then you seeing him, like, they talking about Wale getting held over the edge because he was trying to make a song with Cassie back in the day, and Diddy found out. And they fucked him up and held him over the balcony like they was gonna drop him. Like, that's some, when I heard it, like, my brain was like, yo, this is like, when you hear Suge Knight stories of like how Suge Knight fucked people up, and then you're hearing the same stories with Diddy, it's kind of like, it's this shit. It's like, huh? Like Diddy came in with two big niggas and they held another rapper over the edge by his feet because he was in the studio with his girl making a song. It's not like, I see if the nigga was in the studio and all you see is Cassie's fucking head going up and down and Wale's throwing his neck back as he biting his bottom lip. I understand that shit. But he was in the studio. They were just collaborating on music. And you hear niggas go in the back, the room being rustled like niggas wrestling, and then you're seeing his feet getting hang over a balcony like, I better never ever catch you doing this shit again. That is like some straight up like, hey, yo, what? Like, I don't know. That shit is just crazy, low key. Like, that shit is crazy. It's crazy to hear about. But I just think that's real power. Like, what happened was Aunt Glizzy, who used to be Shy Glizzy's bodyguard, told the story. The story got picked up. Wale then went to the Shade Room's comments. He won't confirm or deny. He won't say, like, this nigga's lying. He's saying, y'all post this BS, but can't post me happy birthday. Some bullshit like that. And journalism's dead. If a nigga make a YouTube vid right now, this is sus, but follow me, saying he hit me in my ass, and it's a lie, I'm not gonna be like, man, the first thing I'm opening is, I don't know who the fuck this nigga is, and I ain't never been fucked in my ass. Nigga will not confirm or deny if he got held over a balcony, which now you start seeing the other crazy shit. It's making me wonder, like, man, maybe this nigga was on this type of timing with this bitch. And of course, when shit like this happens, what do people do? Whenever was kind of, I don't like the archiving part of the internet we're at right now, but then I don't like it because it's like whatever you say now is really going to be up here. But I do like it because it allows you to fact check stuff real quick. So things that have happened was like they had a Young Jock video from years ago on Vlad TV where he's talking about the first time, like, I don't know why they were talking about Cassie, but he mentioned how he was talking to Cassie and Cassie was just, I guess she was going to get the side of her hair cut and how weird he thought it was. And he mentioned how he saw Diddy looking at a white chick, I guess in the club, who he thought was real attractive, who had the side of her haircut, and he told Cassie, hey, go get your haircut tomorrow. And when he was talking, when Young Jock was talking to Cassie about it, she said something like, you know, anything Sean wants, I'll do anything for Sean. That's what Sean wants. It's just like, I think it's just real power. Like I think there's levels to this power shit. And I think every now and again, we see behind the curtain just a tiny bit. Like the previous one that where I was like, okay, was Elon Musk on the plane, where he on the plane, he got the air, I guess on the private flight. There's something he's seeing on the flight. The lady, she just looked, she blessed his eyes in a way. And he just like, look, man, what do I got to buy you to get my dick sucked on this plane? And she's like, no, I'm not that type of girl. I don't want anything to do with that. So he's like, cut the bitch hours. If she's not going to suck my dick on the plane, she can go find another company to work at. I think every now and again with these dudes that are like, because it's not every nigga in these industries want you to believe when they get a little money, they're that guy. And they're not. I don't know enough about music to say who are the power people that probably could, but I think every now and again you see an actual figurehead, and I think you see like, oh, maybe this is what the type of time nigga was on, and it doesn't surprise me. Like that's, so it's like I don't want to say everything's true, but I think there is. I think if this were to go through a lawsuit and they didn't settle, you would start to see more and more, and then that's when you probably start getting to the real weird shit. Like this is like, let's keep it a bean, right? You gotta really keep it a bean. This is what they're opening with. They didn't say like, hey, this is what they're doing. Like, hey man, put that shit public if they think we playing around and we'll see how they respond. Shit could go way deeper than that, right? So I think low key, and then on top of it, when I always keep going back to this photo, you got to think what era this guy's from. Who was the other guy? The guy that was married to what's her name? Kimora Lee Simmons. Was it Russ Simmons? They hit him. The era that these guys come from, I think before 2010. I don't know the exact cutoff year, but I kind of wonder if this is going to happen again in like 30, 40 years. I'd be very interested to see that. But I feel like 2000s, anything before the 2000s was Wild Boy days. Say we was all 20s and our 30s and 1980s, right? Let's hop in the time machine, go to 1980s, 20s, 30s. I think we really could have been on some casting couch shit. We got let's call it JJR. Let's call it JJR marketing. Jeremy J Rap Rob marketing. We bringing in some secretaries. All I'm saying is, if J Rap is sitting there doing the interview, he see that little Italian with the blue eyes, kind of olive skin, thick curly hair, lips mad plump, and he spread that thigh open and say, yo, how much you want to, how bad you really want to work here? And it looked like his log got a little bit of blood in it, insinuating that he might need to catch himself some neck, and she got the job. I think during these times, you could have 100% been on it. I don't think you don't. I'm not saying niggas ain't on that shit now. I think now though, if you on it, you are 100% playing Russian roulette. I think you got a revolver in your hand. It's not going to click and the bullet going to go off, but eventually it will, right? But I think for some of these dudes, the PR is so good that it's like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Again, the grape stuff, the rape shit is kind of like, okay, it's like, all right. When I'm hearing the niggas in the corner hitting his dickhead and he got the BBCs of choice picked out, this dropping pipe, and Cassie fine ass is right there, but he want to watch this nigga here talking to the white girl drop dick in it. That's you know, for me, that is definitely a head scratcher. That one is definitely like my eyebrow just started itching. Like that's one of those. I don't understand it personally. But yeah, you think he's from the 90s. Like he been fucking, keep it being, nigga went to Howard Black University. He probably done hit so much ass. He got a harem now. He got young chicks now. Like he in his damn near 50s going to 60s. And his current girlfriend is what? Young Miami? That's his current girlfriend, right? Young Miami, I know is not older than 25. Young Miami. Never mind. She is older than 25. Excuse me. She's 29. Not that's, you know, that's good. That's good. Black don't crack. But yeah, here it is right here. I'm just saying, man, like, it's just, I think Diddy has shown us real power. I think every now and again we see it. I love when we see it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love seeing behind the curtain just a tiny bit because it lets you realize like we might be out of the age of the pharaoh, but some niggas is living like pharaohs. Like consequences of lack of dick control. See, I'm gonna give you a little pushback on that, right? Because it's like when you've been in this industry and you've been at the top, like there's certain niggas they have to worry about falling off, right? When you're a rapper, like it's gonna come a day when Drake has to hang up the mic. Diddy's never been in a position where he has to be that guy. He just has to find the talent. So he'll always, niggas may not like this. Like, you know, you get on TikTok, they talk about this. Diddy gonna be around until, in the hip hop industry, either until they lock his ass up for something, which probably won't happen, or until he dies. Let's just keep it a bean, right? So if you're at the top, you're top 101, do you have to know dick control? We have to know dick control. If any of us got a kid right now, unless you ready for that shit, you could potentially be setting your life back. Does this nigga who has been the man in his field for this long does that even have to be a rule he acknowledges? It's like if we're playing a fighting game and I say, you can only grab me twice, but I can grab you as many times. It's like it's a rule that you niggas gotta acknowledge, but I don't, right? Yeah, there were stories of Diddy slapping Drake over the 0 to 100. Apparently 0 to 100 was supposed to be for Diddy, but Drake heard the song and like took it for himself. And then when they met in the club, they got in a fight over it. He slapped him or some shit. Nigga slapped me. We got to fight. We got to throw hands. You slap me, I'm throwing a fist. Like, yeah, literally rules for thee, not for me. Like quite literally that. Rules for thee, not for me. Like, so that's just how I look at the Diddy shit, man. Like, you know, I think it's sad. I think it's sad, right? They was getting on Slim Thug because Slim Thug took the real, like, bitch, you was with it. You wanted to be in the back rooms. You just going for the bag now. But it's like one thing we gotta realize is like this the reality of it. You show me a chick, you show me a girl anywhere, a 19, damn near, let's keep it a bean, fresh out of high school, 17 to 19, that will be what, her second year college, depending on when she goes. Her first or second year in college, a nigga comes along making, you could go to college for 4 years, you ain't coming out making however much Diddy was gonna pay her, which they said, I don't know where I read this one, but they said he was giving her like $250,000 a month type shit, an allowance. There's going to be some probably selling her the dream. There's going to be some element of her life. Like definitely Cassie has pretty girl privilege. Like let's not even mince words about it. Like, all right, niggas was 100% probably buying shit for her growing up, but is a different level to it when there's a nigga like this. There's a difference between her going to Starbucks, one of you niggas in front of her, you look back, say, yo, what you getting again? Man, get her too. Yo, my name is insert whatever your name is here. As you trying to like maybe finagle you buying her drink, her latte or something, and to maybe getting the phone number. And then this nigga just coming up and saying like, hey, what you trying to do? You trying to sing? You got the looks for it, shorty. Let me hear, like, just sing me a little note. She sing that. It don't matter. That shit could have sounded like roaches rolling around in a goddamn, in a I don't know what roaches could roll around in, but that shit could have been like roaches rolling in dirt. She looks so good. Hey, we'll figure that shit out later, baby. We'll figure that shit out later, baby. You got the looks. You try to do something with it. He embossed her life to such a level that do you think they're walking away from that? That's why it's like, I don't mean to go like red pill with it, but like if we keeping it a bean, that's why like some chicks can really just sit around and wait and hope that a nigga will come along and just say like, hey, I got my shit, I got my life figured out, shorty. I just need you to complete the picture. That's why some girls do that. I know one right now off the top of my head that if a nigga came along making $5 million, she on the single villain era type shit, she's wrapping the shit up, soft girl, nails and toes done on the beach in Aruba somewhere right now, drinking a latte. I don't know if they're drinking a latte in Aruba, but drinking a margarita. There you go. That's better. So I just think it's like, yo, I'm not expecting him to think logically or be normal. I think the grift that some of these dudes try to do is come off as normal because we're not going to understand it. Like, not many people are going to be able to ever be on this guy's level in life, right? Or to experience even, would you guys be able to say that most people would be able to even experience 5% of what his life has been like? I don't even think most would be able to say 5%, right? Like, if we're being real, you know, that's just how I feel about it. Like, that's my thoughts on it personally. I don't know if there was anything else y'all wanted to ask related to it, but that's my thoughts.